is that a bad thing? Because I want more, I have ambition in life to have more than what I already have.
Hmm. The balance. Can we find the balance in this? Let's see. Let's find the balance in this. All right. So I'm gonna use me as an example.
Yeah.
All right. When I look in my closet, I have enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm content with what I have, but I would still buy certain things. That makes it more. There's nothing wrong with having more.
Yeah.
I believe that it's the desire of wanting to obtain so much more, and when you get it, are you still content though? I think that's the area of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, your business, right? But can you be content with what you have now? Because when the more come, will that elevate you to the point to where you feel like, dang, I got more, but I want even more, and you keep feeding that more.
Because it almost sounds like then that becomes greed.
It becomes greed.
Got you.
But can you be content now? And then when the more come, you like, okay, I'm content. And then when the more keep coming, I can stay content.
That's the blessings. Got you.
That's the thing about.
Yo, I hope y'all caught that because he broke it down like clearly.
You have to be content in your situation, no matter what it may be. So if you out here and you're looking at, we're going to keep it simple. Let's say you're driving in an Escort. I used to have an Escort. You know what I'm saying? Just say you got an Escort, but you looking at that new Challenger. You see what I'm saying? And you driving in that Escort, and you like, man, I want that Challenger though. But can you be content in your Escort? Because when you do get the Challenger, you know what you're going to want next? You're going to want that range. And when you get that range, you're going to want that whatever else. And you're going to keep wanting. But if you content where you're at though, you stay content. And when you get that Challenger, you're going to be at peace. And when you get that range, you're going to be at peace. And when you get whatever else, you're going to be at peace. You know what I'm saying? And so contentment is, to sum it up, got to be content.
Gotcha.
And that goes for pastors, and that goes for everything else. Can you find contentment in your current situation?
And that's the struggles I have when I go to other churches as far as them not being content. Because why are you, as a man, why are you trying to take up a love offering for that's your wife, right? You married her. You having sex with her. Like, you having sex, take care of your wife, dog. Why you asking me? That's what the offering, I put my 10% the first time, bro. Divide that up. You know, if you knew your wife was if you knew her birthday was coming, the same day, same year it is, every year,
you say divide it up.
You'd have put enough aside to take care of your woman, right? Content, right?
But let's talk about pastors though, since we touched on it, right?
Okay.
Pat, do you think there's a new age of pastors coming in? And the reason why I say this, because if somebody look at you, you know what I mean, you're obviously part of the culture, you have a swag to you, you're a new age pastor, you're not a traditional pastor. When I see Kirk Franklin doing the Millie Rock on stage, and now he's doing like real hip hop songs, he's always been kind of hip hop, but doing like real hip hop songs with artists like Kanye West, but they might use vulgar language in their songs. Do you think there's a new age of pastors coming in? Because I even heard Kirk Franklin say, his next album is called Losing My Religion. He doesn't believe in the same forms of religion. Some of the stuff he talked about. Do you think that's what's going to be relevant to relate to today's society and the young kids growing up?
Okay, most definitely, yo. Most definitely. When we talking about this generation, this culture, like from my perspective growing up, right?
Yeah.
My mom had me in church, and being in church, I didn't see guys like, you know what I mean? I didn't see young pastors, you know what I'm saying, that I could relate to. I saw the old preacher that I couldn't obtain. You know what I mean? I'm going to church and you got the preacher that's 40, 50, 60 years old up there preaching. I'm 10, 11, 12 years old. There was such a gap there. I couldn't obtain it. So on my way to church, I was listening to Nas and Jay-Z on my way to church. You know what I mean? Because that's who I could look at, and when I listen to them, I can attain them. You know what I'm saying? Because Nas was
The
rapping.
ghetto prophets.
Yeah. He was rapping about like something I can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was when I saw him, he had on the Timberlands and you know what I'm saying, the hip hop fashion, I can relate to that. You know what I'm saying? Now, like, once again, growing up, we didn't have that. Like you didn't like it was taboo and where I grew up in to even rock a pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? But my mom still brought them for me, but I couldn't relate to anybody else because everybody else was in the suits and the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now, you see me, fitted hat, you know what I'm saying? It's like a millennial person or a generational person, a younger person, they will look at me and not even say, that's a pastor. And that's great. You feel what I'm saying? That's great because it opened up a dialogue in a way. Like, oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you have to relate in this generation. You have to be relatable. You have to be able to show, especially the youth, that you can still rock. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing wrong with wearing Timbs. There's nothing wrong with wearing a fitted hat to the back. But the church would say you look too much like the world. You know what I'm saying?
How real is that?
Yeah, that's what they do to them. Like, nah, don't look like the world. You trying to look like the world. You trying to sound like the world. You trying to be all that to the world. But do you see my lifestyle though? And I'm living like the world. See, they miss all of that. You see what I'm saying? They miss that. They so caught up on the outward appearance of things, but they miss the fruit of the matter.
Because it's almost a racial profiling within our own society. You know what I mean? The same thing.
Religion.
Yes.
Especially the black church.
Yes.
Oh, the black church, man.
I agree with you so much, man, because, you know, like you said, Pat, we all grew up in church. Yeah. You know, when I was in church, my mom used to force me to wear nice clothes and dress up. I was just like, why?
Yeah, why?
Like, why can't I just come with him? I'm still coming to listen to God. I remember one time I even questioned my stepfather, who is a pastor, and when I grew up in a Pentecostal church, one time I questioned him. I remember this day, I was like, why do I have to get dressed up? I'm coming to hear you preach. And I might have said it rude, but I was really saying it in the form like, I'm coming to hear you say the same thing you speak to me every day when I'm at home in my regular clothes.
But I gotta dress up now.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And I think to your point, kids, especially with this culture nowadays where I believe this is almost a lost society who don't have God in their life. That's why there's so many kids committing the crimes they do doing this, because there's nobody that looks like us to talk to them about God. Pat, they don't want to see the traditional pastor in a three-piece suit that's 50, 60 years old, like you said, no more. They want to see guys like you. They want to see Kirk Franklin and Millie rocking, because if they see Kirk Franklin and Millie rocking, they're going to be like, yo, this dude is talking about God and Millie rocking. That's dope. You know what I mean?
Yo, check it out, son. So, this is where we at with it. When you think about the culture, what do the culture flock to?
Hip-hop.
That's the voice of this culture, of this generation. You know what I'm saying? The hip-hop artists. You feel what I'm saying?
It's true. But this is why we go back to it. It's so sad that the hip-hop artists, they don't realize that, because they are spitting this nonsense. A lot of them, you know what I mean? They're not. I don't like to talk about old hip hop versus new hip hop, but at the same time, old hip hop had content. It wasn't all good, but it was content. It was honesty. It wasn't fake like it is now. But go ahead, Pat.
Man, this is great. So we're talking about what the culture identify with. They identify with whatever is popping in the culture. What's the latest trend? What's the latest fashion? What is this? You see, I'm a firm believer that righteousness, going back to righteousness, righteousness is a style that never fades out.
Oh, wow.
You feel me? Righteousness. You feel me? It's a style that never fades. Trends come and go. You know what I'm saying? But righteousness, living right, doing what's right because it's right, that never fades out. You know what I'm saying? And just think about the culture, the generation. They flock to hip hop artists. They look at the J. Cole's and the Kendrick Lamar's, and they look at the Jay-Z's and the Rick Ross's, and they look at all these people, right? And so, as soon as they see something happen where, let's say, something happened where it just wasn't a good look for him, right? Well, the average generational person would say, "Oh, well, they just a rapper." You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The standard for a rapper. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They look, but this is what our youth is looking at every day. They're looking at the move Jay-Z is making. They're looking at the move Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Rick Ross, 50 Cent, whoever your favorite rapper is. This is what the culture is looking at. They're looking at these guys every day, right? And this is the standard that they're setting. They're like, yo, I want to be like Jay. I want to be like Cole. I want to be like Kendrick. I want to be like, you know what I'm saying? But then the pastor, they look at the pastor. You feel what I'm saying? They hold him to another standard.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? If I was to do something to put myself in a bad light, they're gonna hold me to another standard though. Cause you supposed to be a man of God. But they not checking for me though.
Yeah, okay.
And this is what I'm saying. Like right now, right? Let's say if I spit something, they'll be like, "Ah, it was cool." But let Cole and Kendrick drop something tomorrow. It's gonna be a field day on YouTube. They gonna flock to that like that was God talking. This the culture that we live in. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny when you say the standard, right? Because one day, I want to say 3 years ago, I was attending this church,